Awesome. All right. Thanks for being here on a Tuesday for the lift. We've got a full agenda today, so let's jump right into it. Who's got good news to share? Something good going in your business, in your life? Who wants to share first?
I can share
Hey,
rest.
Go, Carrie.
I am headed to London next Wednesday to attend James Shaw's Elevate conference, and I'm so excited. I used to live there, and I just am so excited to get the chance to go back.
I love that. That's a great investment in yourself. I hear that is this your first time going to his Elevate?
This would be my third time.
Your third time. First time overseas though,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh. Yes,
That's
exactly.
exciting. Love it. All right. Who else?
I want to share real quick too. So as most of you know, my kiddos are all in hockey, and so am I. And I organized a big charity fundraiser. Colorado Avalanche alumni players came out and played with our local club, and we raised about $45,000 over a really busy weekend. And so I'm really proud of our team. And when we were talking yesterday um, about sphere of influence and how many people you talk to over the weekend, I couldn't even list how many people I talked to. So like getting involved with whatever drives you in your local community is also a really great way to build your business as well as give back.
Absolutely. All right. Anyone else? Good news.
Yeah, Russ, I've got one. Thank you all for joining Breakthrough 120 yesterday. I'm excited that we are offering this in our market centers, and I'm just proud of all of you for participating. I know it's a long call and it's a long time on Zoom, but I hope that you all are getting initial value from it. And I'm excited that Russ is going to lead with lead follow up today. So make sure you guys are ready when the call is over because he's going to get into it.
Absolutely. We will jump right from this Zoom link to the other Zoom link, which is on your calendar. Today's 4 hour session will not be quite 4 hours, and it's going to be great because yesterday was all about building the database and getting leads. Today, we're going to talk about staying in contact with those leads until they turn into a deal that makes you money. And that's why we're all here. So today is going to be great. By the way, just for preview, on Wednesday, I think Ryan's back doing listing presentations and buyer presentations. That is a great class. It's a deep dive into how to get your clients when they raise their hand into agreement. Oops, I just did something weird with my camera. And then Thursday, deep dive into open houses. I don't know if Leslie's doing that or if Katie's doing that. Friday, I think Katie's doing it. And Friday, Leslie's taking social media and how to use technology to get yourself out there. The goal of Breakthrough 120 is nine agreements written. So if you could use nine more, it is for you. We've got some additional announcements. We just talked about Breakthrough 120. Next week, Top of the Rockies and Mountain Properties will have their live meetings in the respective locations. Katie Briggs does coaching every Tuesday, 1 to 2. This week, Rod is not doing contracts, but it's weekly on Wednesdays from 1:30 to 3:30. Mountain Properties movie night is April 16th at the Riverwalk Movie Theater, 6 p.m. A couple save the dates. Red Day, second Thursday of May, as usual. Mark that in your calendar as a day to give back to our community. And don't forget, June 12th, we've got our AI workshop with Lauren Lucas, 10 to 1. More details coming about that soon. I started a weekly, I don't know if this is a podcast or what you would call it, but I'm doing a market brief every Monday on Zoom. It's on the calendars. It's at 12 noon. Charles Coleman, who's our regional tech trainer, he and I are going over industry stories, local Colorado statistics, technology. We're doing a quick run through for 30 minutes every week. It is also showing up on the KW Colorado region YouTube if you miss it. We did our first episode yesterday at noon, and the next one will be next Monday at noon. Hope you'll join us for those market briefs. Um, in Denver on April 16th, we have at the Legacy campus Listapalooza. Listapalooza is um, a 3 hour class. We're getting some of the best listing agents from the region talking about their passion for taking listings. Brendan Bartik's going to launch us that day with why listings win in any market. We've got Amanda Reeder and Jamie Karkovsky and Mark Ditkoff talking about specific lead gen that is working today. Savannah Campbell from our family here at Top of the Rockies, she and Dan Noel are going to talk about lead follow-up systems that win. Gay Ribble is going to do a section of her listing presentation. She's going to specifically talk about how she introduces what's going on in the Colorado real estate market into the listing presentation right before she talks about pricing. She's going to share her specific strategies to use what's happening in the market to get people to buy into her pricing strategy, which she delivers as the next piece of her listing appointment. And oh, by the way, Gay Ribble, GCI last year, 3.6 million. Took the most listings in the region, still does the listing presentations herself. You don't want to miss this. Jeremy Cockrum is going to talk about his pricing strategy, how he dials down on the numbers and presents them. Day is going to talk about marketing and video and how to get listings through a video strategy. Diana Nelson Peterson I still think she sold 210 houses last year. She's going to talk about price reductions. Jamie Baker Orr, about 200 houses last year. She's going to talk about hard conversations. And then Savannah is back on stage with Lydia Galesh, and they're going to talk about how to turn your listings into an ever producing lead source. This is going to be a great 3 hour event, folks. You can drive there, attend, drive back in one day, $49. The Spring Mile High Luxury Summit is the next week, also in Denver. It's at the Evans School. It's a 3 hour session with Brady Sandall talking about 6 critical shifts that luxury agents should know about, followed by a networking event at 4 o'clock. And more regional things. On May 21st, Rachel Adams Lee is coming to Denver to the PPA Event Center. She's going to do a morning session on the 13 algorithm changes in 2026. The algorithm changes that cause people to either click on you because they see you or never click on you because they're not ever going to see you because you're not keeping up with the algorithms that push social media forward. She's going to tell you what to post and how to post and when to post. And she's going to talk a little bit about some apps that would be helpful for you to win. This is our annual social media class. You don't want to miss it. We talked last week about the QL Summit. This is a great class for 18 to 29-year-olds, hearing directly from Gary Keller in Austin, Texas, about his life story and how he went from college student to self-made billionaire in the residential real estate space. This is a great opportunity for those of us who fall into that age category, or for our kids that fall into it, or our grandkids that fall into it. You don't need to be in real estate in order to attend this class. It's just an opportunity to learn some smart life habits. My son is attending, and he's super excited about this. Mega Camp is in San Antonio this year. It's the 17th, 18th, and 19th of August. If you're in leadership, it's also the 20th. Tickets are $849 until the end of this month. For Christmas last year and Hanukkah, we gifted you RE Profit. This is a real estate specific tool that helps you manage your finances. It's like QuickBooks, but it's specifically for real estate. If you don't know what I'm talking about or you're not using this yet, see your team leader and they will get you your activation link or code or whatever it is. BrokerBot. We've been using BrokerBot for a while. I've got Mountain Properties up right now. I wanted to share with you a new thing that's happening today. We added what's called Smart Search. When we introduced BrokerBot, we told you that it was a strict search engine powered by AI. In other words, it was only able to search websites that we gave it permission to search, which makes it safe and reliable, but not quite as big as it could be. Well, 500,000 requests later, the BrokerBot team decided to give us what they're calling Smart Search, meaning it now crawls the web at a higher level, still maintaining some guardrails, but not quite the strict guardrails as before. Here's what you should get out of this. It's now a little smarter. It's still safe to use, but it's doing more crawling around the web. So if you've been ignoring BrokerBot, add it to your what do you call this thing? Bookmark bar and start using it. It's a great tool. Chair Chat's coming up next week. We've got Scott Maloof from San Antonio talking about lead gen. He's the guy that wears the hat with the red thing under it. Everybody knows Scott Maloof. He's one of the top agents at Keller Williams, and he's a genius in lead gen. Gay Ribble, top listing agent in Colorado, is going to be here in 2 weeks. On the 27th, I'm waiting for a yes. And on 5/5, Richard Schulman out of the LA area, sells a few hundred homes a year, is going to be talking about simple lead gen that is consistent with how you like to do business, that is currently working in this market. Don't miss this. Summit individuals for March that were top producers: Dan Derman with 1.8 million, Lindsay Morrow with 1.9, Tony Giacconi with 2.4, Ryan Doobie with 3.2, and Morgan Keeler. I saw her on here. Hi, Morgan. Morgan Keeler, top agent at Summit last month with 4.925 million. Great job, everyone. For teams, the Vega team was in 5th place. June's team in 4th. Ideal Ascent was the 3rd highest producing team. Signature Home Team, 3.978. And Skinner team led the way at 4.7 million. Great job, teams. For Vail, Amanda was in 5th place, River in 4th, Will in 3rd, Daniela in 2nd, and Leslie Gruters led the Vail Market Center individuals at 4.4 million. Great job, all. And for teams, the Fishkin team and Team Black Bear led the way in production for March. Great job. I'm going to turn it to Ryan to talk to Erin Harrell, who is here from Florida. Ryan, I can't see Ryan. There he is.
I'm here, Russ.
All right, I'm going to spotlight you. And where is Erin? I'm struggling to find Erin in here.
You know what? I'm under OFDT.
Oh, there you are. Your
Sorry
name's
about
not
that.
on there as a way that I can read it.
Sorry.
All right, here we go. Take it away, Ryan.
Erin, it's good to see you. How are you?
Good to see you, my friend. I am fantastic.
Good. And Erin, let's just start. Tell us a bit about yourself before we get into this conversation.
Okay, this is my least favorite thing to do, but I'll do it for you. So I spent 20 years in higher ed. I left the college as a vice president of academic affairs. I had started a consulting firm, and I was leaving my kids all the time, went through a wicked divorce, and I thought I have to find something where I am home more. but still making money and being able to help kids because I had fostered kids, a little over 2 dozen kids, and wanted to continue doing that. So I decided to sell my own house. I had a great house, but I decided to sell that so that I could move on to the water. And I thought, I am not paying somebody commission. My mom had been in real estate her whole life. So I thought, I'll just go take the test. I have a PhD. How hard could it be? So I took the test. I'm very proud to say I failed it with the highest grade of PhD. That was a hard test, that real estate test. So once I finally got my test done, about 10 years or 11 years ago, I sold my house. A friend of mine said, hey, you've got your license. Can you sell my house? I sold her house. She owned all the Jimmy Johns in town. And she said, hey, can you do commercial real estate? And I said, sure, why not? Let me talk to my broker. And he said, you can, but I would suggest you get a little bit more experience under your belt. So I went back and told her that. And she said, no, I'm confident you can do it. So I started kind of in the commercial world that way. And I kind of never looked back. It just kind of took off from there. 2 years later, I partnered with my lifelong friend that I've known about 25 years, Jessica Nolan. We started a team and we now have 10 agents. We are in 3 different cities, and I'm proud to say we just hit $250 million in sales. So we are the top team in our office. We're number 5 or 6 in the region usually, and we absolutely positively love what we do. So I think the most important thing about what we do, though, is we also have a foundation that we started after I stopped fostering kids, and we support middle school and high school homeless and displaced kids. So every week we get calls from our schools to be able to help, get them everything that our kids normally have at home that we take for granted. So that's the 30-second recap.
That's great. And I met Erin 2 years ago at family reunion, and one of the things that was unique about her is we were at this event and she was handing out these tokens. They were poker chips with your brand on it. And that is one of the things I want to talk about today because you have an expertise in branding. So I want you to talk a little bit about how you go about branding for your real estate team and how that affects your transactions and how you lead.
Yeah, that's really good. So I will tell you, we brought on a branding expert at the very beginning to kind of help us figure out who we were and what we wanted people to know us by. And so we created a tagline that's serving and strengthening our community. It has really nothing to do with real estate, but everything we do centers around that. And so serving and strengthening our community comes in our volunteer activities. It comes in the lifestyle we lead. And we're going through a rebranding right now. So we have been for the last 8 years Old Florida Dream Team, and we are now moving to the Harlan Group because it works better as we expand. But we've kind of built our brand around our lifestyle and everything we love to do. And you hear people say all the time, like, if you love what you do, you don't go to work. But we really hold true to that. So we built it around what we do in the community, how we build the community. We don't just sell houses, we acclimate people to the community from the school systems to what they like to do. And it's kind of shifted our marketing and our branding away from how many houses we've sold. We still post some of that kind of stuff, but we really are more about acclimating them to the area and the lifestyle that Southwest Florida has to offer.
Right. And you also are really, you talk a lot about luxury versus lifestyle. What is it?
Yeah.
Can you define that and tell us what you mean by luxury versus lifestyle?
Yes. So our team kind of covers everything. We'll sell a $15,000 lot. I think our highest listing right now is 19.5 million. I tend personally, and my business partner tend to cater more towards a luxury market. And so what we have done, and I think it's people have a hard time breaking into the luxury market sometimes. They feel like maybe out of place and I think Colorado, I've been there a few times. My son, I know, lived in Copper Mountain for a long time. So I was out there quite a bit. It's kind of like ours, like your millionaire might be the guy barefoot and flip-flops next to you or in skis with, holy ski pants. They look a little bit different than if you're right now I'm sitting in Miami. So we've kind of found a niche of the luxury brand that we like, but it's very simple. It's very down to earth. And we cater to clients that want to be on the water, clients that like the coastal lifestyle. And so we put ourselves in places where those people are at. So try and find a space where your luxury clients are and go there. And don't feel out of place about where you're at. Feel comfortable, make yourself comfortable. But if you're never around luxury clients, if you're never around millionaires, you're never going to get their business.
That's right. And something else that we were at, James Shaw did a shift workshop 2 weeks ago, and we were going around the room and he was talking about different lead generation strategies, and none of them were unique. It was expired listings, sphere of influence, newsletters, golden letters,
Yeah.
client events, using social media, etc. And tell us today, what are your top three lead generation strategies?
I think this is where our team kind of excels. We're a database team. We do not buy leads. We do not have, Realtor, Zillow. We've tried them all. Don't get me wrong. We touch our database all the time. We constantly are. We do monthly. Everyone that we've sold to over the last 8 years gets an anniversary card from us on their home anniversary. We try and stay in front of our clients. We do a ton of social media, but where we really are generating most of our high end leads right now is from our groups, from our lifestyle groups. So I'm a boater. I'm on the boat every chance I get. If I'm not working, you can find me on the water somewhere. So about 4 years ago, I started this group. It's called SWFL Boaters, Southwest Florida Boaters. You guys can all jump on and follow. And it didn't take off right away. But what I started doing was posting videos in there, not about real estate at all, but about boating, about what was happening on the weekends, where people were going, safety tips, navigating the water. That group slowly took off. It took about a year and a half. It was a private group. And I just had my friends in it. It just started kind of where I wanted to go. And then I opened it up to the public because people kept saying, can you add people? So that group now is at 40,000 members. I screenshotted this morning. This month alone, we have had 8,000 interactions. We've had 14,000 comments. On an average month, I have about 1 million interactions on that page. And so what I started to do when I got to about 5,000 people, I started branding that with real estate. So at the end of my little videos, I'll do like a quick real estate update, like, hey, you might want to tune out, but if you don't, here's what's happening in our real estate market. Or I don't talk about real estate necessarily, but I'll do my little video sometimes at a waterfront house I'm selling, and I'll say, oh my gosh, guys, you want to put your boat on this lift. It's X amount of pounds. So every one of our team members now has a page. We have What's for Dinner. We have Out and About Southwest Florida. Those lifestyle pages is where a ton of our business is coming from. So it's finding your niche, finding kind of what you love to do, and then catering to that market.
And how many posts or how many videos do you do a week on this Facebook page?
That's a great question. I get that one all the time. And I need to be better about being consistent. On average, I do about 3 to 5 videos a week. They're 30-second videos. Some of them are, but they're like a minute video. And I stopped. I think this is the biggest thing that stops people from videos is, oh my gosh, my hair doesn't look perfect. You guys can see this morning I drove to Miami and my hair's all over the place. I stopped being perfect on the videos. I put my screw ups when I screw something up and I'm doing a video like, did I just really say that out loud? I think I did. I think I put a period, when you're talk texting, like, so I'm doing the video. I'm like, hey, this week, so-and-so band is going to be here, period. And then I'm like, I just said that out loud. I put those videos up. They're not clean. They're not edited. It's just me talking. They get a ton of interactions. The last one I did one last week. It had 832 reactions on it. That's just putting you in front of people. And then people now know me as the boat lady, but they also know I do real estate. So I'll be out and people say, hey, that's the boat lady. Oh, I was thinking about buying a house or blah, 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 or I'm referring somebody to you. And we have a ton of really authentic leads coming out of those groups.
And do you have a way of tracking how many leads you've generated from this group?
We do. So we just now are going to Clarity Now, but we are a little bit old school. We've used a spreadsheet, which where we keep, but we use Command. We started in Command 8 years ago when they kind of were limping along, and we've left and tried a bunch of things, but we've gone back and we use the tags in Command. So each of our groups has a tag, and when we sell something, so upwards of 20% of our business right now is coming from that. Last year we had 80 some percent come from our database.
Okay. And we spoke a few weeks ago and we talked a little bit about organic lead generation.
Mhm.
And this wasn't necessarily um, profound, but what was an epiphany to me, you do a really good job getting Google reviews. And
Yep.
you talked about getting Google reviews, and my mind was on, I have 8 Google reviews right now, and I have always gone to past satisfied clients to ask for a
Mm.
review, but you do it a little bit differently. Talk a little bit about how you use Google reviews to help your business.
Yeah. So, and I've got to give you guys a shout out because I was listening to your classes and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I want to come to your market center. You have so many awesome classes coming up. But the one, and I don't recall the woman that's teaching how to the way to get your the Google reviews and all of your how you move yourself up on social media and with Google and everything. Those algorithms are so incredibly important. We have a lot of people that come to us when you search the web. We are organically come up first. We do not pay for Google. A lot of people pay for that. What we do is if you know us, like us, and trust us, give us a Google review. We don't, it's not that we've had to sell you a home. People want to be in business with people that know you, like you, and trust you. So we ask our friends, our clients. I mean, the large majority, I think we have 530, I don't know, we're close to 550 reviews, 5-star reviews. Uh, the large majority of them are past clients, but there's also people on there that are our lenders, that are our inspectors, that we ask to give us a review. And that organically moves you up in those algorithms. Shame
Got
on you with only 8, Ryan. Get on that.
it. And, one of the big technology advancements in our industry right now is we're talking a lot about leveraging AI to help grow our business. Do
Mhm.
you leverage AI, and in what degree do you use it to help with your business?
That's a great question. Absolutely. If you are not using AI, AI will not replace real estate agents. I think if you guys were at family reunion, Gary Keller talked about it. We were not on the industry list for replacement. AI is critical right now. I use ChatGPT, Claude. There's so many that we use right now. We are actually hiring a position right now to integrate AI. It's an executive assistant position that only does AI. The amount of things you can do with AI, from creating your scripts, putting your posts out, scheduling, you tell ChatGPT what you want it to do, or Claude what you want it to create a social media plan for you for a month, and then tell it you don't like this, you don't like this, you want this, you want this, and it just refines it. It'll write your scripts for you. I use teleprompter a lot, so I'll put my script into teleprompter. So it looks like I'm looking right at you, but I'm actually reading what's on my screen. So I'm not screwing it up anymore as much. I still do, but not as much. But we use AI for everything. We use AI to write LOIs, letters of intent, for our commercial projects. This morning, I had 3 contracts come in overnight. I had to drive to Miami. So at 6 o'clock this morning, I threw all 3 contracts into Claude and I said, please give me a very brief scenario of each of these contracts. I cut and pasted that, sent it off to my client, and said, hey, I'll call you later to talk about this. Just wanted to give you the key points.
Wow, that's great. And Erin, we've got a lot of agents in our market centers that are new. A lot of them
Hmm.
come from K-Score. A lot of them that are on these calls are just starting their business,
Yeah.
and they're having a hard time getting the wheels moving in their business,
Mhm.
um, getting that first buyer, getting the first listing. What give them a few pieces of advice as newer agents on how they could get their business rolling.
Okay. Very first thing I would tell you is go to ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, whatever you're using, go to 3 or 4 different sites and say, I'm a brand new agent. Here's what I love to do. Here's the people I know. It's your church group, whether it's a ski group, whether you have I have kids in elementary school. Tell ChatGPT, tell the AI about yourself and who you hang around with, and say, give me the top 3 things I need to be doing to start my business. They're going to give you 3 or 4 things. The number one thing I can tell you is consistency. If I would have dropped out of this boat group when it didn't take off in the first month, the first year. I wouldn't have some, I mean, some of my biggest clients, I just sold a $4 million property, 4.2 million property that came out of this group. Consistency is the name of the game. When you don't think it's working, don't quit. Keep going. Because so many times you get so close and you're like, okay, this isn't working. I'm going to try something else. Consistency is the name of the game. Find that one thing to get in front of the group of people you want to work with and be super consistent about it.
Got it. That's such great advice. And this is a question that may or may not pertain to your real estate business, or it
Sure.
can, but what is the greatest lesson that you've learned in this journey?
Thick skin. You have to have really, really thick skin for one to be in real estate, especially in commercial. And as you get into the luxury market, you're working with a lot of doctors, a lot of attorneys, a lot of them are super nice, but also super arrogant, super tough. And they're very direct. And so you can't take that personally. You have to have really thick skin. If they're mad or if they're upset or don't get upset with them, de-escalate it and say, I hear you. I understand you. I know you're upset about this. Here's what I suggest we do to fix it. And 9 times out of 10, when you don't escalate with a client and you don't take it personally, you can resolve the issues. Um, and the other lesson I have learned is always stay humble, always be willing to give back. So no matter how high you get, no matter how much money you make, I think Gary Keller said it in his top 100 recently, be humble. Just always be willing to give back, always be willing to help the person coming up behind you, no matter how far you climb.
That's right. That's good. Erin, is there anything else that I didn't ask you that you want to share with the group today?
I would just say, you know how I feel, Ryan. Every day is a gift. I've had some health issues that I'm like a cat with 9 lives that I should have died a couple of times. So I wake up grateful every single day. And I think when you focus, we hear it all the time. When you focus on what is working and what is good, it expands. And I truly, truly believe that. And as a real estate agent, you're starting off in a tough market right now. We're seeing one of the toughest markets we've had in a very long time. If you're on this call and if you're still at it, congratulate yourself, but find all the things that are working today. At the end of the day, write down 2 or 3 things that really worked well and then do them again tomorrow and then do the same thing and the same thing. And you don't need to know where you're going to be in the next month. Just really know what you're going to do today to be successful and then focus on the things that work tomorrow. And the more you do that, it will come. Just don't give up.
Okay, lastly, because you just said something that's really critical because we're in a shifting market and
Hmm.
people are talking about this with um, consumer sentiment is low. We've got
Yeah.
geopolitical issues, inflation, everything's expensive. The housing market went like this post-pandemic, and now
Yeah.
things are uncertain. Give a few pointers on how you win in a shifting market.
Mm. Yeah. And I'm glad you asked that question because if I could tell you one thing, and coming out of higher ed, everything, my PhD had a minor in quantitative statistics. So I'm a nerd, a huge nerd. I love the numbers. Know your market, be your market expert, not just knowing what houses sold, what the comps are, but know what your market looks like. Know whether you're in a balanced market or a seller's market. Almost every MLS system has a huge statistical analysis system that nobody ever taps into. Find it in your MLS, go to stats and start playing with that and become the neighborhood expert. Wherever you want to farm, know that market inside and out, not just the market, know where the best coffee is, know where the best schools are, know where the best steaks are sold, know where the best restaurants are, know where the best parks are. If you're a dog person, capitalize on that. This is where all the golden retrievers hang out. This is where the best whole food for dogs. I mean, things like those little things like that become that expert in the area you're going in. It's not just about knowing the real estate market, but use stats to tell your story. Get on there every day and tell them something new that people don't know.
That's amazing. Erin, thank you so much for joining us today and
You're welcome.
you're a wealth of knowledge, and we're just grateful to have you here.
Well, I appreciate it. I'd love it if you guys would follow me. It's just super simple. Erin Harrell. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Join the SWFL Boaters page. It's a super fun page. And if nothing else, you guys, it's absolutely a riot. Can I say asshole of the week? I know, but we're starting asshole of the week for those people that just screw up the page every week because they're on there. And that makes for really good content too. So thanks for having me, Ryan. Really appreciate it.
Good to see you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, Ryan, for putting that together. Just a couple last things here. Wait a minute. I've lost my screen. Yeah. Today at 1 o'clock, Katie is doing productivity coaching. You can join them live in person in the Frisco office or show up on Zoom. Link is in the calendar. We will see you all next week. Hope you have a great week. Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, Russ.
No productivity.
No coaching today because of Breakthrough
Oops.
120.
We'll see you on Breakthrough 120 instead in 9 minutes. Bye.
Thanks.